first, I want to give a more detailed question, but first, I just want to get your thoughts on that match because it's a very interesting match and how it played out. Because first half, we were awful, down 1-0. Second half, we come out.
We were lucky to only be down 1-0.
3 goals in 8 minutes, and then allow them to score, and then essentially get lucky to not.
I mean, you weren't lucky. I mean, you when you give yourself a 2-goal lead,
right? You can afford
You can afford a lead,
and we win 3-2. So overall, just thoughts on their performance, and then I have a more specific question for you after.
Overall thoughts on the performance. I think this is going to be kind of what the Tottenham performances look like under Ange. Not necessarily the poor first half, but the fact that with this Ange thing where this is our identity, we're playing it no matter what the scoreline or whatever, like you're up 3-1, you should probably sit back, put on a couple extra defenders, and not play a high line, and not pass the ball back to the goalkeeper because you're playing such a high... The distance between the left back and the goalkeeper shouldn't be as far as it was, and that pass doesn't happen. Oh, just...
He didn't see the play. You could say a lot of it, but if he just doesn't pass it to Ivan Toney, 100%. It's 3-1.
But I'm saying I think this kind of game state is what we're going to see with Tottenham, and it's going to win them tons of matches, and it's going to lose them some matches, in which is probably what's going to stop them from being title challengers. To be a title challenger, you sometimes do have to understand, okay, we have a 2-goal lead at home against Brentford. Let's sit back a little. Let's control possession, whatever. Having said that, on the Brentford side of things, that first goal, whatever, they gave it up. The second goal was absolutely unacceptable off the kickoff to be bent out of shape. I mean, that was ridiculous. But credit to Timo Werner. He was great in the second half.
Oh, my God, that was
Him
great.
and Brennan Johnson were great in the second half. That's kind of the players they are. They're going to be a little inconsistent, but when they're good, they're good.
I wasn't in the locker room, obviously.
Really?
But
breaking news.
I can only imagine because, first off, not that I think bringing Bentancur off is the right decision, but more the decision of putting Kulusevski through the middle and bringing Brennan Johnson on essentially won us the game, I think. And I think that I can't imagine what Ange's team talk was, but he seems like the guy that I can't imagine that it was a huge tactical piece. I think it was, this is the change we're going to make and move Kulusevski inside and Brennan Johnson out wide. But I'd imagine the rest of the talk was like, stop being fucking pussies. And like, it's very simple. Like, go out there and just win the game. Like,
the aggression wasn't there in the first half.
We just, and then
you were
immediately.
You were second to every second ball.
And also, speaking of pussies, Maupay might be the biggest.
Really? James Madison's is the pansy.
Oh, I completely disagree.
Brother.
Maupay. First off,
he did his celebration. Grow up. It's not that big a deal.
Maupay did his celebration. First of all,
he's one of the great riler-uppers of all time.
But okay, Neal Maupay is the reason that we won that game.
Yeah, it's like what Xhaka did at the Anfield last year. He headbutted Trent Alexander-Arnold.
There was no fire
100%
from the Tottenham team.
We saw it with Colin Sexton and Jalen Brunson.
There was no fire in a Tottenham team after a long break in a midweek match that would have allowed us to come out in the second half with that amount of fire. So thank you to Neal Maupay, who he won us that game. So thank you so much. But he was also doing it the entire first half, like pushing people and then flopping. He was acting like a huge bitch the entire time. And then the last thing I want to touch on, because I think the troll from the Tottenham players was amazing. First, you have Brennan Johnson with his tongue out. Then Richarlison did it. And then Madison did it. And I fucking loved it personally as a Tottenham fan. Maupay can go fuck himself. But did you see after what Maupay said about Madison?
Yeah, he has more goals.
Yeah. He was talking about stats from his
All right, but let's not pretend like James Madison didn't get relegated 4 months ago.
Okay, I also think Maupay's talking about stats from when he was
in the championship.
Yeah.
He was one of the great championship scorers.
Exactly.
Ever.
Like, you're flexing.
He's also Brighton's all-time Premier League leading
stats.
scorer.
You're flexing your stats in the championship. Like, first off, relax. And second off, Madison
talks a big game for a guy who was relegated.
Okay, it's a team
Yeah, but
thing.
he had 0 goals in the last 12 matches of Leicester City. I'm just saying.
I understand.
James Madison talks a big
like,
game for a guy who's never fucking accomplished anything.
He's fucking amazing.
He is fantastic footballer, but he has never accomplished anything.
He didn't talk a big game.
They're both talking a big game. No, but he got super pissed about a fucking celebration.
He didn't get pissed.
This is like when everyone was doing this because fucking trolling Rashford. Like, grow up. It's a fucking celebration.
We won the game, so he trolled him.
What do you mean he put Neal Maupay in a fucking headlock? He got pissed.
No, first off, Maupay grabbed the shit out of Madison when they were returning back to the half line.
It was a little bit of both.
He definitely was the aggressor in that
But
situation.
I credit James Madison because I agree he took that situation and got his team fired up around it, which is what a good player does in any side, good leadership.
And
but he also is a bitch.
When you have fucking
He's insecure.
sickos like Richarlison on the other side of the pitch, why would you ever give fuel to a fire for a player who
That's
runs?
how Maupay is. That's always how he's been. He's a fucking wanker.
I want to give a sincere thank you to Neal Maupay because you are the sole reason that we won that game, and your goal, it like banged off
his
him.
shin, off his
He
knee.
didn't even fucking score. Like that was, it's hilarious.
That's how Neal Maupay scores.
It's hilarious how he was flexing that goal, which is one of the luckiest goals I've ever seen, plus his championship stats.
You're just describing Neal Maupay. Like this is
right, but it's
person.
almost embarrassing.
He will just rile you up.
And I want to thank him.
All right.
And even Tottenham's verified account, like the account themselves, is posting like trolling towards him, and like, but you're commenting on someone's Instagram after you lost the match, like. I don't know, like Neal Maupay, maybe get a life.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the same thing as Madison posting Neal Maupay, like,
right.
But we won the match, so you can do that. Like, you lost, scored an accidental goal, and we're flexing championship stats. Like, if Madison stayed in the championship with that relegation side that you were talking about, he would score 100 goals and have 100 assists in that league.
All right, relax.
So, those are my thoughts. As much as I hate you, I want to thank you because that's 3 points that we maybe wouldn't have had if it wasn't for